What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Rel2G. Thank you for coming out to my channel today. This is the Monday Night Raw Super Show review. If this is your first time on my channel, click that subscribe button, and on the notations you can also follow me on Twitter at overrated_rel, and you can also check me out on my second YouTube channel, which is RellyRel267. Last night on the Raw Super Show, 3 hours long, Teddy Long kicks it off, getting John Cena to come to the ring, and we are waiting for Brock Lesnar to come out as well, but it's John Laurinaitis to tell Teddy Long that Brock Lesnar has not arrived yet, and John Cena needs to get out of the ring until Brock Lesnar comes out on his own terms, which we know will probably be later on in the show. As he does that, the Rated R superstar, the Hall of Famer, Edge, comes out. He tells the C Nation leader he must win at Extreme Rules because he can't let someone who doesn't care about the WWE, and it would be a slap to the face of WWE legends like Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and even Edge himself. So Edge tells Cena he's not asking him to beat Brock Lesnar. He's telling him to beat Brock Lesnar. So we get our first match of the night. Is Chris Jericho versus Kofi Kingston. A good match before Chris Jericho's match against CM Punk in a Chicago street fight for the WWE title this Sunday at Extreme Rules. Codebreaker put on by Chris Jericho, and then eventually the Lion Salt and Chris Jericho win. So after the match, Chris Jericho continues to ridicule Punk's family and claims he would expose the champion in his own hometown, Chicago, and he said that Punk will need something to help him to cope with failure, and he decides that he's going to give him a generous gift. So we also learned that John Laurinaitis has named Eve as his executive administrator. Whatever she's going to do, probably stir more trouble. So CM Punk receives this liquor basket from Chris Jericho, and Josh Matthews telling him, what are you going to do with all this? He says, I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to give all this to you. You could do whatever you want to do with it, but I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to secretly deliver this to Chris Jericho when we get to Chicago at Extreme Rules. So our next match is Lord Tensai versus R-Truth. Lord Tensai dominant the last 3 weeks, and R-Truth was no exception. He could not beat this big man for nothing. Shoosh. He was in the WWE, but then he left to go to Japan. He's been there for 8 years, and he's got this half English, half Japanese language, and he's just a beast. I don't think nobody's going to beat him no time soon. So we get Kane to come out and tell Randy Orton that he thinks he has a weakness because of the fact that he hurt his father with the lead pipe, and he laid there right next to him. So he thinks he's going to beat Randy Orton at Extreme Rules. But Randy Orton returns the favor like he always does after Kane attacks him. And he has Paul Bearer wrapped up in a chair with duct tape around his mouth, about to put him into the freezer backstage. And Kane was pretty much not even overwhelmed about it. He just simply laughs it off and says that he has no intention of saving Paul Bearer because he's always considered the devil to be his one true father. So then as he's going to see what's going on with Paul Bearer, Orton attacks him to the point that he takes a lead pipe and he knocks Kane right into the WWE Universe and rushes off onto the steps. So we will see those two get it on at Extreme Rules. We get the Intercontinental Champion Big Show and the Great Khali teaming up to face Cody Rhodes and Alberto Del Rio. An interesting match to say the least, but at the same time, Big Show and Cody Rhodes have a score to settle again at Extreme Rules. Cody Rhodes was left deserted in the ring by Alberto Del Rio from the pin to the Big Show. Khali gets the win. After the match, Alex Riley told Chris Jericho that he's seen CM Punk drinking, and that gives Jericho the opportunity to go to John Laurinaitis and tell him that he was caught drinking and that he needs to get a sobriety test. And eventually he tells him if he fails the test, then he needs to be stripped from his title. And then they had an interview, of course, with Brock Lesnar saying he only cares about himself. He doesn't care what the WWE Universe thinks or anybody in the WWE is that. He's there to hurt people. He's there to bring the pain. He's all to himself. And he's overweight anyways. I never knew that Brock wasn't to be trusted when he first came back, in my opinion. We get Brock Lesnar finally coming out. And he talks to Josh Matthews. He chokes him and puts him into a wall, and then Josh just simply said he was doing his job. So he grabbed Josh and threw him into a grave. And Josh was taken to the hospital. Then we get the Divas title on the line. Beth Phoenix defending her title against one of the Bella twins. This time it's Nikki Bella. Bria has already won the title, so now Nikki has a chance to win it. So Eve comes out as the executive administrator and tells the two divas in the ring that it's going to be a lumberjill match, and there the other divas of SmackDown Raw comes into this match, and then as the match is about to end, they all jump on to both participants, Nikki and Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix suffers some kind of an ankle injury, which was to Nikki's advantage, pinning her, and she becomes the new Divas champion. So Teddy Long goes to CM Punk in his locker room, tells him you need to come out to the ring to take a sobriety test, and should you fail, you're going to be stripped of your title. With Detroit's finest two police officers in the ring with Chris Jericho and Teddy Long, they ask him a series of questions of saying the alphabet backward. He failed that one. So they ask him to walk the straight line that's within the ring. Anybody can say a straight line, and he was also just simply completely just having the WWE fans just going completely crazy. He almost had me, and so did everybody else. So I'm like, whoa. So the officers said that he is drunk. He failed the sobriety test. And Teddy Long tells CM Punk to give his title to Chris Jericho because he's been stripped. But Punk says he wants to get one more chance, give him one more chance. So he was given that chance, and he proceeded to walk that straight line across the ring several times. And he reciting the alphabet backwards at the same time. And he's doing a moonwalk as he's reciting his alphabets. And as he reached the letter A, he surprised Jericho with an attack that just took Jericho out of the picture, and you're quite sure they're going to be ready for this match at Extreme Rules. Our next match is the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus against Mark Henry in a non-title match. John Laurinaitis names Daniel Bryan as the special guest referee. This was really not much of a match at all because Bryan just kept on messing with Sheamus, telling him, hit me. If you hit me, you're fired, and all this and all that. And he lost track to Mark Henry. Mark Henry punched him down, and he went down, and he pins him. And it was a quick count to Daniel Bryan, and Sheamus loses to Mark Henry. And then after the match, Daniel Bryan was attacked again by Sheamus without the referee shirt on, and Sheamus warned that Daniel Bryan, would pay. Then we get to the next match, the United States Champion Santino Marella and Zack Ryder teaming off to face the tag team champions of Epico and Primo. And what was a silly match, but at the same time, Santino with the Cobra of Epico. When you thought this match was over, and they win, Santino and Zack do the job. Santino wins again. As we learned, he will face The Miz for the United States title at the pre-show before Extreme Rules on Sunday. And of course, you can watch it right here on YouTube.com. Kane goes to Paul Bearer, and he pulls him out of the freezer, thinking he's going to rescue him, and then he just puts him right back into the freezer. He's like, no, Kane, no! Who can survive in the freezer? I know I couldn't. I know you couldn't either. So we get to our final match of the night. It's Brodus Clay and Hornswoggle against Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Vicky Guerrero slapped Brodus Clay after this match. She was disqualified, and so were her two men. And she tries to do a little dance with the Funkasaurus, but the girls weren't having it. And Hornswoggle bites her in her ass, running her out of the ring, and they're there in the dance, making a little noise, getting down in the night. Our final segment is the contract signing. Brock Lesnar finally comes out as John Laurinaitis introduces Brock and Cena into the ring. Cena, so he's nowhere to be found. Brock tells John Laurinaitis that he has a list of changes made to his contract, and he wants it to be made. Other than that, he would not fight John Cena at Extreme Rules. He's not the same naive farm boy as Brock was saying that he was used to be the first time around, and Brock demanded that he have oversight over Laurinaitis' future decisions, by getting a private jet by Mr. McMahon to and from these shows. And if he was to win, then Monday Night Raw will be known as Monday Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar. Are you kidding me? Who the hell does this man think he is? I'm saying to myself. Laurinaitis, he agrees to Brock's demands. Stupid. And Cena finally comes out in the ring with his Thuganomics locking chain around his neck, and he like wrapping around his fist, waiting to do something with Brock. So verbal bars were charging up. They both signed a contract, and they're going to get it on at Extreme Rules. OMG. I can't wait what's going to happen, because the WWE and the WWE Universe will never, ever be the same come the end of Extreme Rules. But I have to say, I enjoyed this 3-hour show. I did not sleep or anything. I hope y'all didn't too. It was great. This was something that we were looking for quite some time. These last 3-hour Raw Super shows, or Raw Monday Night Raw's 3-hour shows, was one of those sleepers. Big ups to WWE getting it in on Monday nights once again. But I give this Monday Night Raw Super Show review at 8. Come here on Friday. Definitely, I will give you my predictions on what will go down at Extreme Rules. Alright, folks. Thanks for coming out on Raw2G. Subscribe to my channel, my Twitter, my other YouTube. I will talk to y'all soon. Till then, we'll see you later on in the week. I'm out. Peace.